Just going online. Today I want to continue cleaning the seeds from yesterday. And I also brought containers again that we want to look through. Just seedlings that we have planted on the channel within the last weeks. A lot of cactus seedlings, mostly flower hybrids. A lot of stuff by Uwe Kahle. It's just a great breeder. And I need to plant these because I know that in a few years from now these will be awesome. So yeah, and I'm cleaning the seeds first that I still have here before I forget what I wanted to write on the label. I've been up for a few hours today, a little bit earlier than usually, and Kami woke me up at maybe half an hour before I usually get up. And yeah, I just had to get back to sleep, and I usually don't do it, but today I wasn't ready to get back into this world again. I needed that half an hour early in the morning. Sometimes I have that when you wake up and I don't know, a lot of stuff to do right away. You just want to sleep half an hour longer. So good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm cleaning seeds here. I already wanted to go online on stream for like an hour, but Kami was blocking the room. She was taking a sun bath under the plant lamp, kind of enjoying the sun, and I didn't want to come in and bother her. She likes the plant lamp. I usually would be very careful about it. I mean, it's an LED lamp, but theoretically it could be bad for the skin. But she's so old, I don't think at this point it will hurt her. And she has, and it's nice and warm. But yeah, now she wants to go out again. I was out with her earlier this morning, and she wanted to get back in right away. And now that I'm on stream, she wants to go out. It's the classic cat experience. When we're out, she wants in, and the moment we're in again, she wants to go out again. I guess that's normal cat behavior. So yeah, this one here, these seeds, that's Rosa California Fugu, really good cross. The father probably something like a Lobivia with a golden throat, or with something like Lobivia winseriana. And that cross could be great. Could be really, really great. So yeah, I will probably donate those sometime during the season. We'll see when. Still working out the specifics and all. But it might happen. Maybe on Christmas. We'll see. That's why we are cleaning them on channel now. I want to get this done as fast as possible, that we have maybe around the Christmas time, if we want to do something for charity, that we can do it. But I still need to have a few talks here and there with people that I want to support with the charity stuff. We'll see. If we do a seed giveaway, then we're doing it for charity only. That is the only way I'm doing it. I mean, if I'm selling seeds again, then something really bad has happened. So I'd rather not. But yeah, as long as possible, they will be donated. So yeah, cleaning everything up here. Lot of dirt in this one. I remember when I cleaned it, I had waited too long. And when you wait too long to clean seeds, then it becomes messy, and you have a lot of organic material in the seeds that you have a hard time getting out again. So yeah, good morning everyone. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, still cleaning seeds, and then we're checking on the containers that are planted. So yesterday I looked into how much data I have used for streaming, but so far I never really streamed on a regular basis, and now that I do it, of course my mobile plan kind of suffers from it, and yeah, I think I used maybe 1/3 of the data I have available. I believe it was something like 25 or 30 gigabyte. And yeah, for streaming so much, I believe that's okay. You know, I had my concerns were that I'm going through my volume that I have my data on the mobile plan so fast that I then, like, after 10 days or so. But so far I'm pretty sure what we have will be enough. For streaming, I got a plan that has something like 100 gigabyte per month, and that one costs something like $20. So it's great how the prices have gone down. Only recently, I believe, mobile internet is really fully usable the way it's supposed to be. I always wanted to use the internet for like for streaming and stuff like that, but in the past it often wasn't feasible. It just was too expensive, or the internet quality where I live was too slow. And now we can do it, and I'm happy about it. So yeah. Later today, I will take Kami out again. We were out a lot yesterday also, until the sun went down. It was a beautiful sky yesterday here. Cold, but really nice, sunny. We had a lot of cranes that flew over, and I filmed a few of them. Really, these large groups of cranes that are flying to warmer countries now. Really fun to watch. So yeah, always happy to take general questions if you want. If not, we will clean seeds, check seedlings, the stuff that's part of a cactus breeder's life every day. Just doing the cactus live here on the stream, and because if I'm not doing it on stream, I will never do it myself. I need a reason to do this. So yeah, live stream's great for that. And our seedlings, I mean, I'm not sure if you planted some where you live too, but over here the seedlings, they are moving along fast. They are under the plant lamp. We have already maybe 3 or 4 weeks of seedling growth, and that is great. When the winter is over, we will have grown seedlings that are big enough that they will make it, that you could theoretically put them out. We might not do that, but we could if we wanted. When you're growing indoors, cactus seedlings, it's always good when you can move them out once they are at a stage that is a little bit bigger than where they are the most vulnerable, that it takes a while for them to get through the very dangerous first months or two. And the longer you have them indoors, the longer you will be able to kind of control the environment, keep out stuff like slugs. The moment you will put them out, they have to face all that. So we will try to grow them indoors for as long as possible, and we might get to the point where it's no longer possible. We will see that, you know. Stuff that will happen in the next few months over winter. We might have to transplant seedlings when we see that there's a problem like fungal infections. If we see that a fungal infection takes over a container, then we will transplant it completely. We might have to also remove a few fungal infections here and there. We might have to, I don't know, we'll see what happens. It's always, you never know what will happen during the winter when you grow plants indoors. There's always unforeseeable risks that can happen and throw you back. So we'll see. We will do it on camera the whole summer, the whole winter, and just every problem that comes along, we will react to it. We will just solve it, no matter what kind of a problem we see. Growing plants, any kind of plant, is always about overcoming problems. Just overcoming whatever problem the setup or the situation throws at you. And long term, that's always the main job, just taking care of problems. Whether you are indoors or outdoors, it's always the same story. So this was a cross between Rosa California and Fugu as mother, and I believe the father was a Lobivia hybrid. And yeah, something like Angelo, I believe. So I'll put that aside. And now I want to check on the containers. We'll see how it goes. I brought a few that were big, with big seedlings. So yeah, opening it up and seeing a fungus gnat, that is a bad feeling. I really dislike the fungus gnats, how they were already in this product when the whole thing was out of the bag, fresh out the bag. I really believe that when you're buying seed, it shouldn't have fungus gnats already in it. I mean, very often it's easiest to just pasteurize the soil, cook boiling water on the soil. That should take care of stuff like fungus gnat, eggs in the soil, whatever they have put there, or these little kind of larvae that they throw out. But yeah, I was a little bit disappointed that the soil already came kind of messed up. So yeah, next one we will get sowing soil. I believe I have the hope that maybe they will protect sowing soil a little bit better, just because it is soil intended to be in high humidity. So yeah, the other seedlings, check them out. What I see, there's moss growing inside there. Up here, that is moss. And when you get moss inside a closed container, it can be a problem. So it's sometimes good to remove it, and we will do that, I think. I don't like having moss in a container. It can still work. I've seen so many healthy seedlings being grown with moss around, but yeah. Kami is going crazy in the background, wants to be let out. I'm not letting her out while I'm on stream. We're doing that later when I'm done. That's why I asked her beforehand if she wants to go out, you know. But now the camera's rolling. So yeah, these look great. Great and healthy seedlings. Happy with that. And this is a cross of my own. You can see that these are columnar hybrids with a colored father. Very interesting kind of cross. So I will put these aside. We have removed the moss that was in here. It will probably regrow, but that doesn't matter. That's not a problem. Okay, next one. Looks great also. Looks also like one of mine. Okay. Yeah. A lot of seedlings, and these are maybe 3 to 4 weeks old at the most. Little bit repositioning the ones that fell over, but overall this looks great. When you have a compact mass of seedlings, it's good to leave them alone. Don't do anything here. Never change a winning team. I believe in that kind of stuff. If it's going good, don't change anything. Just put it where it was. Leave everything. Of course, you could already start singling the seedlings out, but you would instantly need a lot of space where you could still keep them indoors. So they would you would need to, like, for just one of these containers, you would probably need 10-15 containers, separate ones, just to single them out. That is why growing cacti from seeds can get you in trouble with the space, because you run out of space very fast within just a few months. Can already get you in trouble. So over here, this is a Lobivia cross with Dessau. Dessau being a hybrid by Hartmut Kellner, with Echinopsis Calianto Lilacina, and something else. A lot of different kind of parents involved in Dessau. I think 3, but I know that the Pseudolobivia kind of plant was one of them. Has a lot of contrast. And I'm looking at what I believe could be a fungal infection. It seems like there's something organic that we lost there. Right here. I'm not sure if it's visible in the video, but this could be maybe a seedling that didn't make it. So I will remove that. And the way it looks, I was able to just get out the fungal infection just with a pencil, just picking it up, taking it out. And if I had left it inside this thing, it could have already infected the seedling right besides it, or even spore throughout this whole thing. So the sooner you see a problem like a fungal infection, the better. So yeah, always welcome to everyone who is joining us in the stream today. I'm just going through the seedlings, making sure that everything's all right. We have planted these maybe 3 to 4 weeks ago, at least the biggest ones. We have a lot of smaller ones that are following one after the other. But yeah, right now everything's looking great. Here's something that looks like it should be removed. Maybe fungal infection, but I'm not really, I have trouble seeing it, what it is. Yeah, it looks like a tiny seedling that didn't make it. So I will take that out, because that is how a fungal infection can sometimes happen. I also feel like the soil here is a little bit too dry. When it has that puffy look to it, then it's probably a little bit too dry, so we will water it a little bit. This isn't really disinfected water or sterile water. I don't do that stuff. Everything that we grow here is alive, has positive life in it, microbes and all that stuff that you find in the soil. I don't like to overdo it, but on the other hand, you sometimes run into problems with fungus gnats. That is the negative thing of using a soil that isn't cooked completely, you know. And it's probably best to do that, to cook it, pasteurize it, use hot water to at least get rid of some of the problems in the soil. So this is a cross of mine. Yeah, I had to transplant 1 or 2 seedlings that fell over, kind of. And you always have to check, because the seeds remain on the tip sometimes after they have germinated. So you have to sometimes, if a seed corn, the rest, like the hull of the seed corn, is stuck on a seedling, then it can cause an infection. So you have to keep an eye out for that. If somewhere there's a seed corn, a seed hull is still attached to the tip of the seedling, carefully try to remove it, very carefully. So yeah, but apart from that, our seedlings look pretty great. We have fungus gnats here and there, but so far it doesn't show in the seedlings. If it becomes a problem, we will have to transplant them right away. But for now, not seeing problems despite having 1 or 2 fungus gnats here and there. I mean, they're certainly not something you want to have, but if you have them, it's usually possible to control them, to get them under control. If necessary, you can let the soil dry out completely. They don't like that, and the seedlings very often can take it. Just want to say again, welcome to the stream. So we got quite a few new visitors. So yeah, appreciate you being here. We are checking on our seedlings. Here's a fungus gnat, for example, and the seedlings look good still. It's possible that this will be a slow process, that the seedlings at some point need to be transplanted due to the fungus gnats, but for now it's not a problem. And over here, you can see that, I'm not sure if it shows, but a lot of them still have the hull of the seed corn on top of them, stuck on the tip. And while they very often are able to shake it off, sometimes they are not. And that should always be on your mind when you're sowing out, that at some point a stuck seed hull becomes a problem. It can become a problem if it doesn't get dropped just from the natural growth, but it takes a while for a seedling to grow so much that it would shake off the old seed corn, you know, the remnants of that. So yeah, but it's great. Everything is looking good. I'm proud. Sometimes you have to say, okay, I'm proud of our work. We did good so far. I don't think I've sown out so many seedlings ever in a year. And we're mostly doing it for the channel, to do it on air, to do it with you and just discuss that kind of stuff. Yeah. But this will also be a lot of work later on. Don't overdo it when you're sowing out, because it is so much work later to transplant a lot of seedlings. And if you do not do it, then you will just lose more seedlings. I mean, they will single themselves out. They will just grow so long until there's a problem, because they don't have enough growth space. They kind of get one injury, and in a close container with different seedlings close by, it can instantly become an infection when a slug takes a bite. That is usually how you lose seedlings if you do not single them out. Singling them out is important. I wish I could do it more. But yeah, and these look great. There's one seedling that has an orange kind of discoloration, and I consider removing it. It's probably a fungal infection. But yes, so far the seedling looks okay, but I think we will remove it. If you have a seedling that already has this kind of orange discoloration, then it's almost certainly not going, like, they rarely get better. When a small seedling has a fungal infection, there's a bad prognosis long term. So sometimes it's best to take it out right away, because that means you do not have that thing in there where you can forget it, or where it can put out spores that will at some point infect the other seedlings. These are younger, some red discoloration here and there, probably as a response to the lamp or response to heat. But apart from that, they look great, look healthy. So, okay. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, a lot of seedlings, maybe 2.5 weeks in, and looking healthy, all of them. I'm not seeing a problem. I always try to inspect the seedlings, check on them, get rid of problems that can happen before they become a problem. You know, when you're growing from seeds, it is so much easier to prevent problems before they happen, before they become huge, because it can happen very fast that things escalate. So it's always important to catch that problem before it becomes a big problem. Okay, so here we have Lobevia, I guess. Pseudolobevia. The cross is 18A2000 crossed with something else. I'm not sure what it is, but this is a good cross. And it's already a little bit older, and the viability is still great. So that is good. Let me see. Yeah. So I hope we can really get these to size, to adulthood. That would be great. Later we will check a few more containers. Now I'm cleaning this fruit here, like the seeds here. Let me see what that is. Okay, this is a hybrid with Charm, Telegonoides hybrid. Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, Maria. Hey, Prince. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. I just discussed seedlings for a while. They look great. Everything moving along nicely. Not really seeing a lot of problems. And right now, I continue cleaning the seeds so they can maybe be ready around the Christmas time. Still a month, and it's a lot of crosses that I cleaned and still have to clean. But yeah, doing it on air sometimes. Yeah, and also posting and uploading, posting videos on YouTube from the previous seasons. And yeah, the channel has grown a lot overnight. I think, I don't know, 10, something like that. It was a lot. And the stream plays a big role in that. So I'm really proud. I'm really happy. I'm proud that I kind of overcame my getting out of your comfort zone and all that. I'm very happy that we made that happen already. Getting up in the morning, seeing that the channel has grown again, makes me proud. Such a difficult time right now, you know. And I'm kind of jumping face forward into the work. And yeah, I see so much potential and so much growth, and that is the only factor that is important to me. Seeing growth, seeing just that we are coming out of the niche, you know, and being seen a little bit on a wider and to a wider audience, being shown to a wider audience. I love that. I always wanted to do something like that. And yeah, I'm finally at that spot where I can do it. I always had these ambitions to do it, but I was never really, I wasn't there yet. I first had to grow. The whole last year, I don't think that me doing this right now on the channel, I don't think that this would have happened if it hadn't been for the difficult couple of years that I had. These tough times, they also push you to overcome whatever you have going inside, overcome your own personal, I don't know, I don't want to say demons, but it also helped me to grow as a creator. Being here now, doing streaming, posting videos, the channel looks really professional. I love that. Like with the t-shirts that I was allowed to add. I mean, that's just overall it looks like everything is there, you know, all the important things are there. I love that. So yeah, but apart from that, I really missed the cactus season. Yesterday I was already in the greenhouses again. I was cleaning up. We will be cleaning up over winter. I decided we need to dump everything that has skin problems, like really bad skin problems. I sometimes want to give plants another chance. Let them, you know, put them at the best spot and give them time to maybe recover if they had problems. But it's blocking, these kinds of plants are blocking important growth, like grow space for other seedlings that I could put there. So I will consequently sort out in the next couple of weeks in the greenhouses, and I might have the camera with me too. We need to clean up. I've seen that a few weeds have come up in the greenhouse, and we need to remove them. And in order to remove them, we might have to move plants out again. And I want to do that maybe on camera. That could be great, you know. So yeah, in the seeds that I'm cleaning here, this is a Telegonoides hybrid called Charm. A follow-up hybrid with Charm. I believe Charm has whitish flowers, and this one here has really nice yellow flowers, very big, even ruffled a little bit. It's a good hybrid, good kind of plant for making a cross with it, and it's the kind of plant that was involved in bamboo, so that is really useful for breeding. And I sent seeds from these into the world over the years where I was active as a seed seller. So I send a lot of seeds from these, and I'm already looking forward seeing the flowers from it. I'm almost certain that the offspring will also follow this plant, be very, like, it's probably very dominant, like a lot of these Telegonoides hybrids are. So we'll see how that goes, if we can see something from like from both of the parents in the cross, or if it's just following this kind of plant again, which often happens when it's the mother. But we'll see. Send a lot of seeds, so I'm sure eventually I can talk about that some more. So yeah, and I don't know, overall I was very happy yesterday about the channel. I was seeing so many comments during the day, and it's not, you know, it's many different people commenting. I also saw that a lot of the old videos that I did are doing fairly well. these comparison videos, identification videos, stuff that I did in 2021. They are the strongest videos on the channel. Maybe we're doing more of them. But yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. It's always a subject that that I feature, but I don't want it to get too big on the channel. I want to kind of mix it up a little bit, so it doesn't become like just one kind of channel, you know, that one type. I really love the flower stuff, and I want to feature it a lot too. But the botanical comparison videos, botanical ID videos, if I would just do these, they would be super like viral. People are just more interested in that than a lot of the hybrid stuff. But yeah, it's also important to have a versatile channel, to not be just one thing. Okay. Also a lot of plant debris in there. So if you have any general questions, I'm always happy to have a chat about that. If not, we will continue to check on seedlings now. When I'm done here, I want to clean this one here too. But apart from that, I don't want to continue just cleaning seeds, because I also have a lot of seedlings that we should look into, that still need to be checked. They are smaller. I've just brought the biggest ones, but we also have a lot of smaller ones that need where we need to look into the container to make sure that there's nothing happening that could get out of control if we fail to see it. Okay, so I'm very happy that I collected seeds of this one. Last 2 years, I kind of missed it. So this year, I finally have seeds from that kind of hybrid again, from that yellow ruffled flower. There aren't many yellow ruffled flowers. I mean, there are a few, but it's fairly limited because a lot of the ruffled flowers are self-fertile, and they often follow that yellow, that reddish kind of gräser color. So this one being different, that is great. Okay. So next one. Next one is Bamboy. I had a few seeds from it, so that's great. Not many seeds, maybe 50 seeds or so, but at least this is something that I want to sow out in the next days. Maybe I will put a few seeds away for you know, in case something happens. But Bamboy, something that we can really grow, that we should really grow. But yeah, I still got to clean this up, so let me put this down here. And after these, I will bring more seedlings to check on them. Okay. It's more seeds than I thought. I was seeing the fruit of Bamboy looked huge this season. And when I cleaned the seeds, there were barely any seeds in it. So I was really disappointed at first, but it looks okay. Looks okay now. But we really have to plant them. I don't want to wait too long with these. Everything with Bamboy has incredible potential. It's one of the best hybrids that we currently have. I get bombarded with messages about it, and I have one plant, and I only have that plant because I got it as a gift from Uwe, and it has flowered now for the first time this year. So it's not that I have a lot of, like, I don't even have a cutting available for me to have a separate plant, So yeah, but people message me. Like, one guy messaged me every few days, and I'm not even a seller. I don't know what it is, but I get so many messages about selling stuff. It's like people, when you start showing your collection, you can't do it without people writing in the comments that they want to buy it, like everything's for sale in life. I don't know, I never understood that mindset, that I saw someone else post a plant and think that that is even up for sale, like that kind of stuff. People often share their hobby. It's not that that everything's for sale that we post, Yeah, but this is good. We have quite a fair amount of seeds. I'm positively surprised by Bamboy this year. I'm not sure if it might even be self-fertile. We'll see how that goes. I mean, I haven't really seen anything other than the one flower that we saw this year that I filmed on the channel. You can see it. No, that's not. These are cactus seeds. These are cactus seeds. It's a cactus channel, So yeah, we're cleaning cactus seeds, flower hybrid kind of stuff, Good flowers, nice, beautiful cacti with big, beautiful flowers. That is the kind of stuff that we're sowing out here. So yeah, and I'm cleaning them now. These are the seeds that we harvested in summer, or around, like, the crosses were made in summer. Then the seeds were harvested maybe in August or September. They were cleaned them under a sieve and put everything on paper towels to let them dry. And now we're bagging them up, making sure we can sow them out, Getting ready for the next season already. All winter, we are busy planting cactus seeds. And maybe also a few other things, like chili, maybe a fruit tree here and there. So I want to get started with that sometime soon. Trying to get a few more seeds, and then we will do that also on the channel. Sowing out everything that where I feel like would be great to have on the channel too, like a little bit of a few vegetables and interesting plants here and there might also be great. Okay, things are getting pretty clean. We can sow them out soon. I maybe want to sow them out tomorrow. I will put a few seeds away, like maybe 10. Like for friends that I had promised, if I ever get seeds, I might put some aside for them. I will put these away, but yeah, the rest we will sow out. Bamboy is just a great plant that needs to be planted. Like, the seeds from it, you just need to get them going. It's just too good not to do it. And I think the father was pink stripes, something like that, I believe, on Bamboy. Something that was equally good Hey, good morning, Dave. This morning I had the same, I kind of woke up because Kami woke me up and she vomited, I don't know what it is, but sometimes when she wakes up in the morning and she starts eating, she eats too fast and then she throws up, and that woke me up this morning, and I was like, oh my God, I'm in this world again, and I just had to sleep a little bit longer, sometimes, and I never do it usually, but today I did. So I feel that I can feel it, being Sunday and all that. So yeah, I was cleaning bamboy seeds. Yeah, sometimes, it really depends how I feel and how my life is going. But in the last couple of years, I often had moments when I woke up in the morning and I just felt, oh my God, not again. Not again today, like sometimes you could use a day or two break where you sleep. Hearing sirens locally here. Not sure what's going on. But yeah, seeds are almost clean now. I want to get them to the point where we can sow them out maybe tomorrow. We're getting to the point when everything's so full that it will be hard to grow all the seedlings. But we will try. I will try to do it on. We'll see what we do on the channel. Maybe we have to. I don't know. I don't know. It's just important to sow out your hybrids every now and then, but it gets overwhelming very fast. So we need to keep an eye on that. Okay. Looking pretty clean so far. Really happy. Later today, I want to watch. I want to continue watching Pluribus and The Lowdown again. I want to continue these two shows. Already wanted to do it yesterday, but I don't know. Something else came up. What I was watching in the evening. Oh, I was watching Alien again. I was watching the director's cut of Alien on the Sci-Fi channel, and it looked great. Like in regards to the graphics and everything, I was impressed because everything looked like it's the same movie. Sometimes when you watch a director's cut, you can kind of see the differences between the material, and they really worked hard to get everything included in the movie, that it looks like it's the same, like it's one movie. And I had forgotten a lot about that director's cut of Alien. So yeah, that was it. I really liked that. And later during the night, they also they brought the other ones too, like 2, 3, and 4. I have a guitar that I bought me, or that my wife bought, because my wife bought herself an electric guitar because she wanted to get into it, and she never did. She really wasn't really loving it. So I got the guitar, and I've been trying to teach myself like to play guitar. My grandfather was a music teacher, guitar teacher, but he passed away pretty fast. So I never really learned to play the guitar, and I always wanted to. So I want to kind of learn it in the next couple of years. It's something I already started this year, playing a little bit just with videos, trying to learn it, but it's really difficult for me, because I have so many problems from the Lyme disease, from the muscle problems that I have. So putting the fingers in different kind of positions was always very challenging for me. And you need to have, muscle pressure on them. So I had kind of problems with that. but I really want to get into it. I really want to learn it because I love when I see people just sitting there being able to just play something, just to sing a little, to when you're sitting near the campfire, that kind of stuff. I really like that. So I'm trying to teach it to myself with just internet, and but in the beginning it was very overwhelming. So I'm currently waiting for another time where I feel like I'm capable of doing it. Right now I didn't have that. And my music taste, it's really completely all across the board. I currently love a band called Soap and Skin. That is an Austrian singer, and she did a lot of cover versions. She did a great cover version of Me and the Devil, and I loved that song. And I used it in time lapses, and it was perfect. That kind of stuff. I like Leonard Cohen. I enjoy that Nick Cave, that kind of stuff. I also listen to rock, but it's mostly classic rock. Alice Cooper, Manowar, Metallica, that stuff. I like Guns N' Roses. I like Slayer. It's really everything. I have a few songs here and there that I enjoy, that I particularly enjoy from certain kind of artists. I love Fear of the Dark by Iron Maiden. That kind of has that cool kind of sound that I like. The Austrian band is called Soap and Skin, and it's mostly cover songs, but she is a great singer. She did the title song for the German show Dark. You know that it's a band called Apparat, and she as an artist was featured in that song, and that kind of soundtrack that you hear in Dark in that show is kind of the music that I like. Everything a little bit darker, sometimes spiritual, but not always. I can also listen to other stuff. I had a time in my life when I listened to rap music. I was a big rap music fan for a while, but today I'm kind of moving towards metal again. I just enjoy. I have missed a lot of albums back then, like the stuff by Megadeth and some of the older Metallica albums I've been listening this year. Like, they're so much better than what they did later in life, and I'm currently just catching up with all the music that I haven't listened to in my life. I felt like, you never know how long you have, so I wanted to listen to the albums that that you have to listen to before you go, so I started doing that recently in the last couple of years. Maybe every now and then I had times in my life when I didn't listen to any kind of music because it made me too vulnerable. When I had times in my life when I haven't been able to listen to music because it would have broke my heart. And so I sometimes step away from music entirely for parts of my life because it becomes too much of a, it's not that I couldn't do it, but it's always something that I avoid when things aren't going great. But I'm getting more and more into music again, and it's a big thing for me that I do it again because I think I've spent 10 years of my life not listening to any kind of music. I mean, you hear something on the radio, of course, but I was never going, like, searching it out, putting a CD on in my spare time. I was either, like, when I had spare time, I was either listening to audiobooks. I mostly listened to audiobooks and podcasts in that time, and they had completely replaced music. But now, since the divorce and since I started doing these time-lapse videos, I begun listening to music again, and it's been great because I missed so much. I missed maybe 20 years of albums of artists that I really liked. So lot of stuff to catch up. I'm not sure, like, I do not know that singer, but I will check it out. There's some great, there's so much great music out there right now, and a lot of it you have to kind of, by accident stumble over it, because a lot of the good stuff isn't what's played on the radio right now. I like one or two things every now and then that are played on the radio, but most of the stuff that I enjoy just doesn't get the airplay. But there was some great, like the Dark soundtrack had some amazing stuff that I stumbled over later, where I just looked up the playlist and looked up the bands that are in it, and I liked so much of it. So I was using quite a lot in the time lapses this year. So yeah, I'm already looking forward to next year again, so we can do the time lapses again. So we can just, it is something different when you're filming cactus flowers compared to when you can really tell a story with the video, with the time lapse and the music behind it, because then I try to pick the songs in a way that it fits to me as a person. And when people watch that know me, they know what it means to me. When I pick a certain song, I picked a few songs that were very personal to me. So yeah, I'm looking forward doing that again next year. I hope we can do it. I hope things go well over the winter. Never know what happens, but I'm already looking forward. I was busy all summer doing these time-lapse videos, and I kept complaining because it was so much work. But now that it's over, I just want to do it again right away. I'm looking forward to that again. Because it's also, you need to constantly listen to new songs and try to find new songs that fit to a video that you filmed. That is so difficult sometimes, and I had a lot of fun doing it like that. It's just sad that on Facebook there were a lot of problems with stuff like music rights, where they constantly try to shake you down. I think on Facebook, at some point they claim 80% of the money you earn with the video. So you go through all that work filming that video, that time lapse video. Sometimes I film 3-4 days and nights, all that electricity cost that goes into it, and then I try to then I use the Facebook system to put a song over it, and the artist of the music claims 80%. 80%. I found that a little bit unfair, since so much of the video is just since so much of the time lapse stuff is focused on the video itself, but every now and then it's still worth it, just because it looks great, because it's an amazing kind of thing to be able to use these songs that you grew up with, for example, for a project that you do, for something that you made, that you filmed in your living room maybe. That was a great feeling, being able to to pick from all these amazing songs and use them for whatever project you're doing. I mean, they would claim the income, they would claim large parts of the income sometimes, but it can still be worth it just when you look at the final product and it's a video and a sound and a great song, and sometimes it works together perfectly, that kind of stuff. That's basically what brought me back to music. That kind of special moment. I would love to do more actual filming, where you can also tell a story with music, where you can kind of use music in what you do, like a documentary where you also use music, but it has become so difficult, like with music rights. So I don't even have a song for the channel here, like an intro kind of song. I always thought about it, but you constantly hear about problems, like music problems on YouTube with the music licensing system that they use. So I never really went ahead, because I could just sing it like a title song for the channel. I would have no problem with that. But the moment you bring in music, you're kind of open to all these problems that you hear a lot about on YouTube about music rights. Okay, so this is Bamboy. We are sowing these out tomorrow. Bamboy 2025. That is great. I love that. So yeah, let's have another look at seedlings. I feel like we already did a fair amount of seed cleaning. I'm preparing to stream from another room, maybe from upstairs every now and then. Just trying to shake things up, mix things up, and my office is actually nicer. But this is a good place to do the dirty work, like checking seedlings, sowing out. But we might also stream from my office sometime soon. So yeah, let me get a few more seedlings and we will just check on them. Okay, 4. Let me get a few more. Okay, so let's see what our seedlings do. Okay, and these they will take a lot of space. This will be pretty extensive. Okay, so here's something interesting. We have a weed that's growing in the container, and they can get so tall that they take away the light from the seedlings. Apart from that, I often don't see a problem with the weed here and there coming through. But in this case, I think we're taking it out. This is some kind of oxalis, and I hate oxalis. I don't want to have oxalis anywhere near my seedlings, so we're taking it out right away. Apart from that, the seedlings look great. Check it out. Yeah, really nice. There's something magical about a full container, a container full of healthy seedlings. That's something great. I like that feeling. Yeah, and I have the hope that long term, a lot of people will just start sowing out simultaneously with us, do that stuff at home, and yeah, tell me about their experiences, how it goes, any problems, any kind of setbacks. That kind of stuff could work very well with our live stream. Over here, these are also looking great. I mean, same kind of size, maybe 2.5 weeks old, but everything looking great. I'm more than pleased right now. But I can tell you that getting the seeds to germinate and getting the seedlings to show up in the container, that is the least of the problems. That is the smallest kind of problem that we will run into. That is the easiest to achieve. Long term, keeping them healthy is what is so hard. I don't know anyone that wasn't able to at least induce the germination in a container like that. When using this kind of method, it is very easy to get the germination started, but being able to grow them until they are big, having them stay healthy long enough, that's kind of the big problem. But we have a lot of great seedlings here. Also, like the kind of quality that we have here that we're growing. If you would have a nursery and kind of mass propagate, that would be a lot of good stock that you would have. Kind of what we're doing here also is a little bit of a, we show how you could theoretically produce a very large, like a whole greenhouse full of mother plants within maybe 5 years, 5 to 7 years. And if you are getting started, if you try to get a foot in the door in this kind of business, that could be a great way to just get unique and original stock, just sowing out, getting good seeds. Don't save when it's about seeds, because seeds are the one of the most important parts. Picking the right seeds will greatly influence your future as a breeder. The kind of stuff that you sow out will kind of decide whether or not you will, like in 5 to 7 years, people will be super amazed by what you've grown or not. It always takes so long until they are big. So it's important to always look into the parents of whatever you are growing. Look into the offspring that has come from that mother plant or that father plant before, so you can kind of guesstimate how the offspring will look like and what you want to raise or not. That is the kind of thing that I spend a lot of time doing, just that, just looking into parents, just comparing how the offspring of a certain plant came out to be, and then I try to grow stuff in a similar way. Do you know Andreas? He's German, moved to Spain. Oh yeah, I know him. Yes, he has a big page, successful page, nice place. I know him. Yeah, great guy. We spoke a few times, and I've seen his page, his channel, and the beautiful stuff that he's posting. I mean, I've moved away from that kind of hybrid, from that like just columnar hybrids, but I still have love for all that, and I every now and then when I see a post that is becoming popular that he posts, I mean, this is a great way to just build a following, to have people like that want to visit. I'm not sure if he's selling the place or what. I didn't know that. I mean, to be honest, just honestly speaking, I'm not surprised, because Spain is a difficult place to do that. It could cause problems. Like if you just look at all the regulations that the European Union is forcing upon the everyone that grows stuff, that wants to sell it, and in Spain, I assume it is particularly difficult to grow these certain species, so I'm not surprised. Honestly, I wouldn't do that in Spain. If it were me, they would kind of see you as a foreigner, and they would kind of always be that, like, whatever you do, you have to be sure that there are no problems at no point, because you do not have the same kind of goodwill that a lot of the locals have, so I don't know, Spain, just from a legal point of view, I wouldn't do it there. Just the color hybrids that I grow, sure, the kind of stuff that I grow, there's a reason that I grow a lot of flower hybrids. It's also, no matter where you do that kind of botanical plant, where you grow them, it will be challenging to do it, because you instantly get attention, attention that you do not want to have when you're just growing plants. You just try to have a botanical thing. You're just trying to enjoy these beautiful plants, but you still kind of, people will always bring that discussion to you, bring that kind of risk to you, even if you are not doing anything wrong. So yeah, I understand. And I chose to move to flower hybrids. It was more like a passion, but I also had in mind that it is a whole different kind of business. It's a whole different kind of group of people, group of customers, and also there's less problems. Also, when shipping internationally, kind of customs regulation, all that stuff. I'm very happy that I'm not really in that business. That I'm not selling. That I don't have because you need to sell you need to sell plants or whatever, or seeds, because you need to financially survive. You cannot run a place of that size without being able to produce something that you sell. And like, some species have become more and more difficult to just have in the shop. Even the big cactus nurseries, really big ones, there are some that have had problems with payment processors, which play a big role in today's world. They make the rules, and that is, it doesn't matter if something is fully all right in a legal sense. They make the rules. If they don't like something, they will end your kind of payment method, and then that's it. So yeah, I saw that kind of stuff coming 15 years ago, 10 years ago, so I'm unfortunately not surprised that it can be difficult to survive in that kind of, for one, in that niche, like having such a huge place with a lot of plants. But also, I don't know, there's a lot of people just sometimes one problem is enough, and you will not have the goodwill that a lot of the locals have, and that is unfortunate. But I've seen it before. I've seen people move to another country, and it's very difficult sometimes. So with these hybrids, it's a whole different ball game, and I'm very happy that I just don't have the problems anymore that I saw everywhere when I was mostly breeding white flower, like the columnar species. They attract problems, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm happy that what I do, that I chose something that I can do, that I can put on the channel without having to worry about that. Dave spoke about that a place in Spain that had these amazingly beautiful plants everywhere, like planted out, huge plants and flowering, breeding. Dave just told me that he would have to sell, or that he would want to sell. I'm not sure. I don't know about the backstory. I just, like, from my point of view, it doesn't surprise me because it's hard. There, like, when I still sold seeds of the flower hybrids that I breed, it was already difficult to get along financially. And when you add to that all the problems that you can get selling a few species that can cause problems, not surprised. I'm sorry that this is the way right now, and I believe it will stay like that. I've seen it coming on eBay, seen the problems on eBay. I could see the writing on the wall 15 years ago. And yeah, unfortunately, we are a good 30 years, 20 years away maybe from, like, all these species not being seen in a negative way, and I know how amazing they are with the big flowers. They have beautiful flowers. And yeah, that is sad that a lot of these species are still kind of have a kind of negative, like, view to them. when they are seen by people like payment processors, people that you just need when you are in the business, you know, when you need to kind of make a living, you know. So Dave had German sausage. That is great. I'm not really into, like, you know. I didn't know you were there. I didn't know that you were visiting the place even. Okay. So yeah, I've seen it. I've only seen the place on that 1 or 2 viral videos that I've seen. But not personally. I don't. I've been having talks with, like, how's the name? I'm not sure. But I've been in contact about, like, moving there, like being there, doing some kind of talking stuff at an event a few times, but it wasn't at that one. So yeah, let's continue with the seedlings. So, but which one is this? Is this the one in like Tenerife? Like, is it that one, or is it like that Andreas, that, because I think both of these are ran by Andreas, so I'm not sure which one it is, but if you know, please let me know. I know one of these large parks was in Tenerife, I believe, and the other one was in, like, more in Spain. Yeah, I'm not sure which one it is, but I gotta look into that. I hope it's not that Pedro Park, that was ran by a friend of mine. Like, he was doing more of the color hybrids. I saw that he was going into. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's the. I think, isn't that on Tenerife? I'm not sure, but I know which one you are talking about now. You know. So yeah, because the other one, the person who runs it does a lot of flower hybrids now too, like this kind of stuff that I'm breeding. You know, because I mean, it is definitely a good way to have a nice place, like fill a nice place with beautiful cacti that are flowering, that people will be amazed by when they see them, but not run in trouble, like with the local regulations and all that. It's already very difficult for the locals, you know. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's the one that I meant that you were talking about, but I wanted to make sure, because no, it's no problem. I was getting confused because I realized both were run by people that are called Andreas, you know. So I was just I was first thinking about that one, and, you know, knowing all the European Union regulations, I was kind of worried about that, you know, that could happen, because I talked about it recently. You need a passport for every plant that you sell, like a passport. You need to prove that whatever you have, like where it came from, and you need to have exact information about the kind of species that you are selling. So if something is a hybrid, it can already be difficult, you know. So, and like I said, you cannot sell a plant, you can't even gift away a plant without writing a passport for it. And that is such a I don't want to talk bad. I'm a fan of some of the stuff that the European Union does in regards to consumer rights, protecting consumer rights. I'm a big fan of that, what they do there. But this will affect so many small business that go out of their way to propagate rare plants that would otherwise go extinct right away. A lot of rare kind of plants that are only around because people who love them, these plants, propagate them, and expecting that kind of bureaucracy from the like small scale sellers is just it's insane, so that is something where I really criticize the European Union, where I think they should understand that a lot of propagation of rare strains, rare commercial cultivars, that they are done by people who are just hobby breeders that also sell something every now and then, and kind of make the hobby work by selling. And the European Union, with that kind of bureaucracy, you will make it so hard. You will create a barrier of entry where the hobby people, the people that raise the 1,000 apple cultivars that you see on the internet, that will not be able to justify to fulfill. Thank you for the shirt. Thank you. Hey, it's going great. I slept a little bit longer today. Need a little bit of extra long break from reality. But apart from that, I'm doing great. Thank you. Just talking about the difficulties of selling plants in the European Union, it's really hard. And I know they are trying to do good. I mean, in theory, it is important that you know where the plant that you grew came from. But just think about what kind of bureaucracy you are bringing into a hobby, into what is a hobby for many people who just sell that one rare plant here and there, or people keep these cultivars around by shopping. A lot of the plant breeders, the cactus breeders that I know, they don't really earn a lot of money. They just support each other. What everyone buys from the other breeder, and in the end, you kind of can continue to propagate the rare plants, and that is a bad kind of disadvantage that they're giving the European breeders in comparison to other countries where that kind of legislation is not around. Oh, from India. Hey, greetings to India, mate. Yeah, I mean, I've been in Berlin a few times. It's a beautiful city, great place. But also, I mean, it's so big. It's very diverse. A lot of different kind of cultures already in Berlin. So yeah, there's a great place to live in Germany, but it has become expensive. Today, a lot of the Germans cannot pay for the rent anymore there. But there are also some places in Berlin that are a little bit rougher. These are still affordable. But I mean, where I grew up, Berlin was the other part of the country. Was a very long way. So I only went there a few times when I did press work for movies and stuff like that. I did that a few times, and I went to Berlin, and I was very impressed, but I never really had a lot of time when I was in Berlin. It's a great place to just like have something to eat. Just go there to take in how it is, the whole vibe. It's very different to how it is where I came from. I came from a smaller town, tiny place, and going to Berlin was very impressive for me always. So yeah, and greetings to India. Hope you're doing all right. So yeah, over here I found something that we should take care of, like a lost seedling, like that seedling here. It looks like it broke in center, but it's probably fungus gnats. Probably a fungus gnat problem. Yeah, I mean, look, Germany in the last 20-25 years, I personally saw it as a very friendly place, but Germans are also very, I don't know, they have good sides and bad sides, and I've seen so much hospitality, but there's also a lot of, like the general areas where you can get in trouble, where they are not so welcoming. It really differs sometimes. You can have, in Germany, you can have one of the greatest experiences that you ever had, meeting someone so kind and loving that it will stay with you for the rest of your life. But you will also every now and then meet people that are very unkind, very, you will have these problems like racism can happen, all these things. But in general, like I can only tell that most of the Germans that I know are very kind and very like welcoming of people, but it can also, it's not a general thing. You sometimes hear these stories, like people like Jewish people in Germany. It's often like every now and then when there's a story where someone has been treated unfairly, has had a negative experience, it always makes the press, but a lot of the positive things, the good moments, people talk less about that, so it kind of every time there's a bad experience where Jewish tourist gets in trouble, like with locals, where locals are saying mean stuff, it always makes the press, but I really haven't seen that very often in my life. It can happen, and I feel like it has become more common now in the last 5-10 years. Germany is now also a lot of immigrants in Germany now, and a lot of immigrants from countries that have kind of history, so with just Jewish people, like that kind of stuff. But I haven't really seen a lot of that in my life. And maybe also because I came from a smaller place, a small town kind of people, maybe are also a little bit different, a little bit more welcoming. Where I grew up, we had so many different cultures around. I grew up in between Germany and France, so you already had kind of different kind of vibe. You don't have that kind of a big city kind of feeling that they might have in the bigger countries, in the bigger cities. So yeah, but I guess it's like that everywhere. If you ask me, I would tell you that most of the Germans are very kind of kind and friendly, but I can also see that from, when you're an outsider, it might be different. So it's always a matter of luck. But yeah, in most cases, I would hope Germans are kind and welcoming. But right now, at the moment, the kind of like the feeling inside the country is kind of changing. You can really feel it. Germany moving more to the right in the last years. It has happened a lot more lately, the last 5 years or so. So we'll see what the future will bring. I hope it's not getting ugly, but it could very well. Yeah, I definitely believe that, like that you will always run into moments when people are hostile, racist. That is the kind of stuff, and it will probably happen more often in some cities, in the bigger cities, or maybe, I don't know, like certain areas are known just to have a little bit kind of conflict potential, that kind of stuff, But yeah, Germany has grown a lot in the last, I don't know, 50 years or so, like a lot of the places are really interesting culturally, but we'll see how it goes. Right now, Germany, there's a strong push to the right in Germany. You can see it like if you just watch the kind of every time there's an election, everything is moving strongly to the right. Someone wrote, it rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again. So yeah. Maybe not now, maybe later. We're just checking seedlings, checking seedlings and talking about stuff. So yeah, over here we had like a lost seedling, and it was fungus gnats. So every time you have a problem with the seedlings, lots of time it's caused by the fungus gnats. They're really a problem. So we'll see what we do here long term. maybe we will pasteurize the soil in the next days, just doing an episode where we just pasteurize the soil, that kind of stuff. So yeah, but I think I'm coming close to like ending the stream. I usually try to do 1.5 hour, moving towards the second hour, but it's coming like I'm getting to the point when, due to the muscle problems, it becomes exhausting, like to talk, doing that kind of stuff. I always have like an hour or two. That is the kind of muscle strength that I have to do to film on one in one part. But yeah, we'll continue again tomorrow. Microwaving does work. Like if you want to pasteurize or somewhat sterilize soil, you can certainly put it in an old microwave that you do not really need for food. I wouldn't do it in the microwave that you use to heat the food, because that might, like if you have a partner and they like to use that microwave, it can cause that very bad reactions, like separation kind of problems. But apart from that, a microwave will be great. Just put the soil in the microwave and make sure it's not catching fire, making sure that there's water, humidity, because I am not sure if it also can pose a fire risk, fire hazard. That could be a problem. If you can't use the microwave, just put it in like boiling water. Use hot water to pasteurize the soil. And also, when I say use hot water, be careful, don't injure yourself, because that kind of stuff, there's a reason why I don't do it very often, because you always have to handle hot stuff. It can cause problems. You have to wait until it cools down before you can handle it. And the way I know myself, I would handle it right away. And yeah, so make sure whatever you do to kind of pasteurize or disinfect the soil, make sure it's not really a danger, don't injure yourself doing it. But apart from that, hot water will already be enough. If I had not been too lazy to do it, we would probably not have the fungus gnats in the soil right now. It's just something that, if you have a good kind of bag of soil, you do not need it. You do not need to pasteurize. But if whatever you use has been exposed to fungus gnats before it was bagged, then you will also get them in the containers, and then you have a problem, because it's best to let them grow for a couple months until you transplant them. And if you have to transplant them right away as teeny tiny seedlings, that can be a problem. Yeah, just putting hot water on the soil will already get rid of stuff like fungus gnats, but you cannot sterilize the soil just with hot water. In order to sterilize it, you would have to really put it in a pressure cooker and let that thing run for 2 hours, 3 hours, something like that. And even then you would probably only have 99 point whatever, but you would be able to somewhat get to an environment in the bag that is not really a problem anymore. But it's a lot of work. If you do it on a regular basis, that is a lot of work. And that kind of work, yeah, it just adds to everything you do. Sometimes you don't need to do it if you have a good soil, but it is often easier to pasteurize the soil, to use hot water on the soil, than later to transplant, because you have fungus gnats in the bag. It's very hard to get rid of them again. I've just saw a friend of mine post about fungus gnats being a problem in his, like a plant that he posted, a potted plant, asking how to get rid of the fungus gnats. And it's a plant that was out of a closed container, where you where you even have less humidity, where it's less of a perfect environment for them. Freezing could work. That is a good idea. It could work, but I haven't done it before. I'm not sure how hardy fungus gnat larvae are. The little kind of worm-like things that are walking around, they might be able to make it, like to survive the process of freezing, but I'm not sure. Some worms can definitely survive it, so I feel like they might be able to do it too. But it is worth a try. If you have fungus gnats in the seedlings, and if the seedlings are suffering, then I would probably try to transplant them. New soil, clean every seedling very well of all the soil, but carefully, because the roots break so easily. And you will not be able to transplant them all, but you might be able to transplant some of them. That could be a great way to do it, to save the seedlings. I mean, you can also be lucky, you can take them out of the bag. Like if we would take these out of the bag now, the size that they have, they are just too small to survive on their own. So you would have to spray them all the time, making sure that the soil doesn't dry out. You could do that. But you would have to spray it all the time, and then you always create a climate where the fungus gnat can also survive. You know, because you need to keep the seedlings alive. That is the main goal, right? So you need humidity, and in order to get rid of the fungus gnats, you would have to let it dry out completely. Hope that the seedlings will survive it. Maybe you would have a few days where you can let the soil dry out completely, and maybe that would be enough to get rid of all the fungus gnats, but probably not. Long term, it is easier to transplant sometimes than hoping that the fungus gnats will just no more, like, you know, that they will go away. In a closed bag, they will not get out. You will always have them in there, you know, or a closed container. So you will always have new eggs coming and coming and coming. And in humidity, they will always find the great climate that they love. So I would probably transplant them if the seedlings do look like they are not doing well. If you just have fungus gnats in there and the seedlings are still growing, then okay, doesn't matter. I mean, it's not good, it's not beneficial, but you might be able to still get them to the point where they are big enough to transplant, you know, but it's already a lot of risk, because these fungus gnats will instantly cause secondary fungal infections just by being in there and being dirty. They aren't really, you know, they will cause all these problems because they live inside the bag. So yeah, can make sense to transplant. I hope you can save them. Parodia are pretty rough, pretty hardy. Sometimes they can take it. It's not that they are so common. They are commonly sold in all these DIY stores for a good reason, you know, because they are pretty forgiving when you grow them. So maybe you can save them. I hope you can. So yeah, think if you have any more questions, happy to take one or two. If not, I'll be back tomorrow, or maybe outside. I'm still preparing to be able to stream from outdoors, cleaning up, getting rid of, making a little bit of space in the greenhouses, so I maybe had space to film. But right now the greenhouses are completely full, and they are fuller than I want to. So we will, in the next days, maybe start filming outdoors again. Outdoors doing garden work, and then I will not be able to comment, but I would just let the camera roll. You guys can just watch how we keep the greenhouses free. And when I say we, it's probably me alone. That is the life of a cactus breeder. I try to get rid of a few trees here and there, and yeah, I will film it. So yeah, Thank you for being in my stream. I appreciate it. Always love it. And it has helped the channel grow. Since I'm doing it, the channel has instantly started growing again. People love that when you can, like when you are accessible, when you can comment, when you can, you know, when people can ask a question. And that is great. So someone wrote that they ordered Lubivia hybrids, Shinshowas. That's the Thai kind of hybrid. I like them. Pink and orange. Echinopsis stormy, I do not know. I'm not sure what that is. But I've seen a lot of these Lubivia hybrids, the colorful Thailand hybrids. And I personally decided I don't want to work with them too much. Like I have a few here and there that are classic kind of Thailand Lubivia hybrids, but I want to have my own direction. When I use the little space that I have for Lubivia, I kind of want to go in my own direction. I want that people will be able to look at a plant, at the flower, and will know that this is one of mine, you know. And with a lot of these Thailand hybrids, I just felt like they are already so common and so available in so many colors. There wasn't really so much, like I didn't feel like I would be able to do it to put my own stamp on it in the same way that I get from now doing my, like the pseudo Lubivia kind of crosses that I'm doing. These will probably be some of the best plants that I've been breeding with and that I produced crosses with. But they are great. I am friends with Jürgen Theisinger, and Jürgen is having a lot of these Thailand hybrids, you know. He's doing a lot of work. I would try to look it up. I would try to look up how the flower of Stormy looks like. I haven't seen it yet, so I'll keep an eye out. Always trying to look at new hybrids, trying to learn more. You know, it always, you look at what kind of crosses worked out or what other breeders got great results with, and it can help you to just look at that and take something with you from other people's work where you see, okay, that kind of work, maybe I could do that, but replace certain kind of plants, you know, in that kind of way. So yeah, that is a good approach. Thank you, Maria. Thank you for being here again. I appreciate it. And like I said, I will do my best to really film outdoors this week, like the coming week. I might miss 1 or 2 days when I'm working in the bathroom again. So yeah, just wanted to say that, but I will do my best to film some more now, starting with the greenhouse work again. And I want to put that on camera too. So I will get back on stream soon. And if not, we will talk tomorrow again, or whenever you have time to join us again. All right. So thank you for being here, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm always happy when people come by. So yeah, thank you for making this stream always a great thing for me too. I appreciate it. If it were completely empty, it would be very disappointing. So I'm very happy every time people show up and just join us. Okay. Thank you. We will talk again in the next days, and later I will post a few more flower videos. Okay. Thank you, guys. I'm going offline, okay?